At the outer rim of the galaxy, there was a human settlement on a desolate world known as Halcyon 4. Life there was rough, and survival was a daily struggle. Cut off from most major trade routes, Halcyon 4 became known as the Forsaken Front to the rest of humanity. Few knew much about it, and even fewer cared. But to the inhabitants, Halcyon 4 was home. One day, an ominous signal disrupted their quiet lives. It was a warning. A hostile alien empire known as the Zorani were making their way through human territory, absorbing entire worlds and stripping them of life. The people of Halcyon 4 were given a choice: flee or be crushed. But there was nowhere for them to go, and without resources, escaping was a death sentence. The people of Halcyon 4 knew they had no way to survive a direct confrontation. They were an outpost of farmers, miners, and engineers, hardly a fighting force. Yet, there was something about their isolation, their resilience against harsh conditions, that had hardened their spirits. The residents held an emergency gathering, where a former Union officer named Colonel Mason Cade stepped forward with a proposal. "If this is our home, then let us fight for it," he said. "If we stand together, we stand a chance." United, the settlers turned to Mason for guidance. He was a seasoned strategist, a retired soldier who had once seen interstellar battles up close. With his experience, he began organizing the people into defensive units. They gathered mining equipment, converted drones, and used leftover machinery to fashion makeshift weapons. Farmers turned their tractors into armored vehicles, engineers outfitted surveillance drones with rudimentary explosives, and scientists converted agricultural lasers into potent defense turrets. The Zorani fleet arrived, their sleek warships gleaming under the stars. They expected little resistance from an isolated human colony, but what they found was a fortification, bristling with traps and hidden weaponry. As the first wave of Zorani assault drones descended, Halcyon's inhabitants unleashed everything they had, targeting weak points and using guerrilla tactics across the rocky terrain they knew intimately. The Zorani's first assault failed. Drones were shredded by hidden explosives and laser defenses as Halcyon's defenders struck with precise surgical attacks. Each time the Zorani advanced, Halcyon's defenders countered, using every inch of their home's rugged landscape to their advantage. Colonel Mason's strategies were unpredictable, his plans turning each confrontation into a puzzle for the aliens, frustrating them at every step. But the Zorani fleet had numbers on their side. The days dragged on, and the colonists were battered and exhausted. They lost friends, family members, each death a reminder of the stakes. Supplies dwindled, and desperation grew. Still, they fought, not just for survival, but because they knew that if they fell, the Zorani would only continue their advance toward the core of human space. Just when things seemed dire, a long-range communication finally reached the human colonies. News of Halcyon 4's stand had spread, inspiring others. Humans from across distant star systems, civilians, retired soldiers, freelancers, and even pilots with their own ships, rallied to join the battle. Halcyon 4's courage sparked a coalition among the distant human colonies that had rarely worked together before. In the final battle, this newfound alliance arrived just as the Zorani began a full-scale assault on Halcyon's last defenses. Unified under Colonel Mason's command, the ragtag fleet of human ships and the remaining defenders fought as one. Their desperation fueled every attack, their anger sharpened every strike. Humanity's unity and ferocity overwhelmed the Zorani, forcing their fleet into retreat. The Zorani, now fearful of what they had awakened, abandoned their campaign, unwilling to face the wrath of a united human resistance. Halcyon 4 was saved, left battered and scarred, but victorious. The story of their defiance spread through the galaxy, serving as a reminder that humanity, though isolated and scattered, was never truly alone.